I guess the time has come for me to introduce myself to this platform, YouTube. Hey, I'm Derek and welcome to Bold Narrative. I started this channel with one belief, that life's real treasures, those experiences that leave us changed, they are out there, just beyond our comfort zones. I wasn't always bold and confident like this. It has been a journey of showing up, staying consistent, and figuring out things along the way. When I started, I had no idea where this path would take me. I was still even figuring out how to speak in front of a camera. I'm here to tell you about the things I wish I knew. I'm here to tell you about the things I wish I knew the time I started. But just look at me now. Here are my top destinations you should visit in Uganda. Make sure you stick around up to the end of this video because I recommend to you some of the tips that I use to travel around the world and Uganda cheaply, especially if you have interest in social media marketing, social media influencing, travel content creation, photography, or storytelling. Now, let's go. For years, many of you knew me as that fearless, happy travel photographer. That guy who is always on the road, rafting, hiking, jumping into adventures, and doing everything I was once scared of. I told stories, but not in a long form and professional way. This location is in Uganda. Now, I am bringing it all here to your screen. In this first video, I reconnect with some of my incredible friends who have been part of this journey. Together, we dive into the world of content creation, my personal story, and why I am finally on YouTube.
I would love for Derek to take our president or our politicians through the journey of Uganda, because I think even if they talk about how beautiful Uganda is, I don't think our politicians have seen Uganda through the eyes or through the lens that Derek has. I think they'll be able to sell a whole different package, a whole different view of Uganda if they could just see it through his lens.
Thank you for inspiring me to do this. Thank you.
I'm glad I did. Yeah.
In my right mind, I probably wouldn't have done this, but thank you for really influencing me to give this a chance.
I'm glad. That's exactly what you talked about, influencing. Kind words.
It's called Bold Narratives, so I can only imagine he's going to make a bold statement.
If you're a perfectionist like me, or someone looking for inspiration to take that bold first step, this is the channel for you. Let's get started. All right guys, welcome back to this video. In the first video that I uploaded on this YouTube channel, the video was me doing a GoFundMe fundraising for my equipment that I lost a few months ago, and that video is the previous video that we'll watch. In that very video, it is a video where you get a chance to actually learn about me, to learn about my past, to learn about my life and how it has been, where we are planning to go, what happened to us, and the dream. So I had to make a video that actually explains to you why we are here, why we are calling the channel Bold Narrative, why not Derek 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐤𝐤. I had a YouTube channel that was called Derek 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐤𝐤, and that YouTube channel is actually still on this platform. But I wanted a place where I can bring in other people to share the stories. I didn't want to be the only person that is sharing these stories. I wanted to see how can we incorporate other creators who believe in the goals and the actions and the dreams that I do, That's why the channel is called Bold Narrative. I want to inspire bold decisions. I want to inspire meaningful connections. And I want to inspire people go out of their comfort zone through this channel. I wanted to have a why I am on the platform, not to be just a good content creator, a good editor, a good photographer. I really wanted a deep reason that is more than just making content, that is more than just putting out videos. I wanted to have a reason that people will come on the channel to watch the videos knowing why they are watching that video. So every video that I'm going to be putting on this channel, it is going to be either inspiring you, it's going to be either telling someone's story, it's going to be either pushing you, it's going to be either motivating you. But even if it's a travel video, it has to have a purpose and a bigger picture of why that video is going to be on this platform. My team and I are visiting the Uganda Parliament to meet a friend who has supported my growth and journey. If there is anyone I would request to introduce me to you guys, someone I deeply trust to speak about filmmaking and content creation, it's Peter.
Well, my name is Peter 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐿. Many people will probably know me as a former news anchor in Uganda. But besides that, I am also in the movie industry. I've acted in quite a few local and international movies. I'm also on television as part of a drama series, but that's all in my private life.
Bold fam, let's take a moment to talk about Peter 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐿. You've probably seen him on your screens. He is one of Africa's finest storytellers and actors, setting the bar high in the filmmaking. Peter's journey in film is nothing short of incredible. His first big break came in HBO's Sometimes in April, where he starred alongside global icons like 𝐂𝐴LBA, telling a powerful story of Rwanda's 1994 events. From there, he went on to feature in films like Ezra, Sheikh Andrew's The Devil, The John Akibua Story, and African Tragedy, State Research Bureau, and Disney's Queen of 𝐻𝐿, where he shared the screen with Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o and David Oyelowo. Most recently, I was hooked on Janan, The Last Stand, a film that truly left an impact.
I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I come here in the capacity as the Archbishop of Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Bogozayire, and a concerned citizen of Uganda.
Actors like Peter not only represent Uganda's content production industry, but also bring art and diplomacy together, whether it is through music, photography, paintings, or storytelling. Alright, back to the video now.
In real life, I work at Parliament. I'm in the Department of Clerks. I handle something called international collaboration, which deals with how our parliament deals with the international community and other parliaments here. I met Derek during a tour that we had to Mount Rwenzori. It was a UNDP project to document the beauty of Mount Rwenzori. I did not know him at the time. So my introduction to him was really through his work, the photographs that he was taking. And I thought, wow, these are really amazing photos. This is beautiful footage. And of course, he was endeared to everybody on set because I think it must have been about day 2 or day 3 when the cold of the mountain was getting to him. He came up with a very famous tagline that Rwenzori is not your mother. So that was my introduction to him. What I found interesting is after I left Rwenzori, I was describing to my wife about the team that we're with, and I mentioned Derek Senyonyi, and she's like, "You're with Derek?" I'm like, "Yes, how do you know him?" I'm like, "Wow, I mean, he has got this tagline, vibe," and then I started looking at all his work, and I was like, "Wow, I have actually been with a real celebrity, somebody who is a genius in the industry." So my introduction to him was really through his own work. When my wife talked about it, that instantly let me know that the people I had been with were people who were recognized in the industry and people who were able to actually capture something that had mass appeal. Now, my wife is somebody who's been, she studied mass communication and she also handles a camera. So she definitely knows people who influence the industry. So hearing it from her, it really made me even more keen. So then I was able to follow him on social media and see his work. And it was amazing. I actually wished I had seen it before I had met him. That was on the one hand. But I also had the pride that I had already qualified him from his work before I knew how big he was in the industry. I have seen his pictures of scenery, and they're really amazing. Then I've seen his pictures on wildlife, and that was also totally, it blew me away. So him being able to capture that and combining these skills makes him a unique person. It is going into a space that is relatively unused in Uganda, and yet it's an international space. So it means his interaction is going beyond Uganda into the international market. He has got the skill and he has got the quality to meet international standards. So it's definitely a space that I think he will thrive in. We shall see the best of him. Those of us who know him will be able to brag about it in future and say, well, you know, I know Derek. Or even better still, Derek, he knows me. He's focused in the right area. He's using his talent the way, you know, he knows how to. And it's going to be a space that is fairly familiar with him. So I'll just encourage him to keep on pushing, just keep going. And more than that, he is going to inspire so many other people, especially Ugandans, to get into the space, the YouTube space or the international space. So let him mentor and tag them along as he goes. I think in future, we shall look back and say, this is the space that Mr. 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐿 got into and took along so many young people. The story that I see Derek telling is the story of Uganda. There are so many aspects of Uganda that the world might not know about. The beauty about the country, the cultures that we have, the kind of foods that we have, the experience. When you put all of this together, selling Uganda as an experience, I think he would definitely thrive if he uses Uganda as his art piece, as his art board. I grew up in a time when there was only one television station. I joined the industry when it was just starting to expand. At that point, we had 2 television stations, and then eventually we had about 5. For any of the young people who are getting into the industry now, I would encourage them to have a keen eye for the new areas, the new media that are coming up. I don't think we have exhausted everything that is there. Right now, I know there's so many young people who are utilizing TikTok, MySpace, and all of these. None of this was there in my time. So they need to be bold and have content that is not only for them, but that benefits the world, that makes them see what they're passionate about. So as long as they have something they're really passionate about, they should explore all the new media. I would love for Derek to take our president or our politicians through the journey of Uganda. Because I think even if they talk about how beautiful Uganda is, I don't think our politicians have seen Uganda through the eyes or through the lens that Derek has. I think they'll be able to sell a whole different package, a whole different view of Uganda if they could just see it through his lens.
exactly what it means to be a travel content creator. Some days are gonna be worse, some days are gonna be nice. So this is the worst and the nice day.
My name is Lucy Bunyenyezi Mulira. I'm a visual storyteller, a content creator, an influencer. I'm very passionate about travel. I'm very passionate about contributing to shaping the African narrative. I do a lot of content around travel, food, the hospitality scene, people, and I'm also the founder of 2 brands, Forking Around Africa, Forking Around Kampala. I didn't always live in Uganda. I was very passionate to come back home, again, to contribute towards showcasing my country. I love Uganda. I'm a very patriotic. And I wanted to, like I said, just contribute to shaping the narrative, like putting that out there, showing people about my country, about the food, about our culture. And yeah, here I am, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. I first heard about Derek on Twitter. That is very ironic because Derek was putting out a lot of like visual content, and I stumbled on his work and I was like, he takes amazing pictures. I remember saying like, wow, Derek takes amazing pictures. But I also noticed he's able to spark up a debate on Twitter, you know, around tourism. I realized from the get-go he was very passionate about showcasing Uganda, promoting it. And over the years, as I followed his journey, he's literally taken it everywhere he goes. And he does it so boldly, so expressively. And yeah, he did inspire me a lot as one of the creators here in Uganda. A photograph can tell a million stories. And if someone can take a picture of anything, whether it's an animal in the wild and is able to evoke emotion and is able to evoke, like, you know, a sense of curiosity and inspiration, that is powerful and that's very influential. So, I mean, Derek's work is amazing. It's work that, you know, everyone needs a calendar full of like Derek's work or a screensaver. So I think he's done an incredible job with his photography. As a creative, I know that it takes a lot to get the perfect shot. When I've seen Derek's work over the years, the first question is, as a creative, I would wonder is, oh my gosh, I wonder what time he got up to take that picture or how long he waited to get those fantastic pictures. So I'm sure it's inspired a huge generation of upcoming photographers who are just so curious to learn a lot from him and his work and what it takes. And a lot of the time, there's this perception that creatives' work is very quick, fast, easy. And so as a creative, I know it takes a lot of work and time and passion to be able to hold out and hold the vision and play the long game, I'd say. So he's definitely impacted a lot towards the industry and inspired a huge generation of photographers coming up. When I heard Derek was he was saying transitioning, but I said you're expanding, because you never neglect where your first love or what got you to this point, right? Honestly, it's needed, because if you're able to impact that much with photography, we need to meet the guy behind the pictures. You know, we need to see some more visuals beyond just the photography, give us some video, allow us to hear, to feel, to be impacted fully. And so I think it's incredible that he's doing this. I'm very excited for him. YouTube is something that was, I think, a long time coming, I'd say. It's been a long time coming, and so I'm very excited for this new journey. And it's a bold decision. It's called Bold Narratives. So I can only imagine he's going to make a bold statement in all the videos that he puts out. And I know it's going to be it's going to be very impactful for the tourism industry here. Photos are great, but when you cushion that with some videos to go with them as well, yeah, it's like icing on a cake. So I'm very excited for that, and I think it's going to impact incredibly. Yeah, I'm really excited to definitely be a part of the Bold Narratives journey in whatever way I can as a creative, to support, to contribute. And yeah, without a doubt, I'm sure it's going to happen. We're both very passionate about Uganda, about showcasing East Africa and Africa as a whole. So keep the cameras rolling throughout everything. Embrace the bloopers, embrace the perfect shots. I think with video, people want to see it all, people want to relate. So don't be too fixated on the perfection. Sometimes there's so much beauty in the flaws. There's so much beauty in the camera shaking when you're trying to get a great shot. So keep the cameras rolling. Just be open-minded, to work together, to reach out for advice, to not be scared, to send a fellow creative who inspires you a message, and also to do the same. I think you pay it forward. Always like work together to strengthen the community and build it, essentially. So yeah.
I can't be more grateful and humbled for the kind words and support, Lucy, you've given to me, to the support you've given to thousands and hundreds of Ugandan creators, filmmakers, in order to strengthen the community. I just have a message to you, if you happen to watch this video, that many of us look up to you and many of us miss more of your content. Many of us miss more of your YouTube content. Please think about us and create more content, share more content on the channel. I had to make sure that this message gets to you through this video. I just want to say that thank you so much for opening the doors to me. Thank you so much for recommending me. Thank you so much for training and guiding and sharing your knowledge to me in the best, honest way that you can. I am looking forward to Uganda, where we are producing creators like 𝐂𝐚𝐫. I'm looking forward to Uganda, where we're producing creators like Tayo Aina, Stephen Duku, and the like, so that our country can get on the map just through content creation and through storytelling. You are one of those people that have put this great nation out there, and keep the amazing work that you're doing. To many millions of creators that have watched this video, that have learned from Lucy, that have learned from Peter, thank you so much. Now I am taking you guys to know more about my previous life, especially when I was starting out to understand the entire professionalism of storytelling and photography. This is my friend Sandra that I've worked with, that supported me through Timeless Frames, that supported me through my entire growth up to this day, where she's entirely responsible for my entire branding and communications on my platforms.
My name is Sandra Natkunda Sempala, and I am the former boss of Derek Sonyinyi when he was still working with us at the Uganda Tourism Board. While working at the Uganda Tourism Board, it was common practice to bring in interns from various institutions to come and, learn and train at the board. So Derek joined with a group of other interns at the time, and I think the one thing that caught my eye was his zeal. Normally when you have interns working at coming for internship, they're fine doing the photocopying, doing the printing, doing the get me this, get me that, but he quickly showed a sense of he wanted more. He put me to good use. So he did mention to me at one point that he knew how to use a camera. We had a small in-house camera at that time that I was able to give him to use, and he started to help us to do photography at work. And these were mainly, work events, conferences here, we have events out of town here, and he was taking the pictures and he was doing a good job. So I think the one thing that stood out was his the go-getter attitude, I would say. Like, he wanted more than he was being served, and he indeed got more than he was being served, which is a good attitude to carry you through life. I think from the first time, if you interact with Derek from the get-go, you see that, most people, the expression will be a fire in the belly. Like, you just know he's not going to stop. He was going to keep striving until he becomes the greatest he can be. Because the growth that we had seen just in a short period of under a year, with the opportunity he had been presented at UTB, he utilized it. So it was obvious that he was not going to stop there. So And one of the things, obviously, he is a very professional person. As a PR person, I worked with various photographers. There are those who it is an acquired skill, they learn it, but it's not necessarily a talent they have. But then I think the best meeting point is when the skill meets the talent. So with the talent and skill, with the dedication, the professionalism, it was no wonder to me that even way long after I left UTB, I saw him, doing all these big gigs, shooting there. I was still at UTB when he did the Rwenzori, but that was, I think, a very, what everyone would call a, not iconic moment of a career, but that moment that sets you apart from ordinary photographers. So I was able to see that he was not going to stay the same. So even with all the growth I've seen, all the shoots he has done, self-promotion, which many people are very fearful about, is something that he took by the horn, and obviously leaning into his already, the fire in the belly that we talked about, being able to see all that, for me it came as no surprise. Like you meet people and they're like, oh, but Derek has gone, and it's like, you're shocked. Yeah, because I had already seen that. So it's been a wonderful thing to see him, transition into this big photographer, shooting mountain ranges, traveling, big personalities, having all these experiences in and outside of Uganda while doing what he loves. That has been really a good thing to see. The storytelling has already been there, in the way the pictures were taken. But I think for this transition, what I would say is maybe that it will be more of maybe doing it on a larger scale, telling bigger stories. By bigger stories, I mean, thinking out the box of what normal storytelling would look like in Uganda from that perspective. But from the skill and from the journey, I feel like this is it's part of the journey that started a long time ago. The best advice I'd give, first of all, to Derek, is to not stop. The same charisma, the discipline, the professionalism, the skill and talent that has taken you from when you started to now, don't stop. Do everything you can to nurture it, to protect it, to fight for it, because the space that you're now going into is a bit more competitive, it's now at a world stage, and that can be a bit, intimidating. But I do hope that and advise that the thing that has brought you here, those characteristics, those those characteristics about you, protect them, guard them, so that they can even carry you further in this journey. And generally, I think the advice I would give to anyone getting into the creative space is to not give up on your vision. It's very hard to translate your vision, especially for any creative, to translate your vision to anyone else so they can move with you. But don't give up on your vision. As long as you can see it, you can achieve it. And also to trust it. Don't give up on it, but also trust it. Trust that it exists for a reason and you have the power to take it through. But most of all, to borrow from some of the characteristics that Derek has, which are discipline, professionalism, the ability to continue learning. Learning doesn't stop. When we stop learning, we stop growing. So at least if there's one thing that you can see in Derek's journey from the beginning up to now, it's really the learning, doing better, getting better. And that's one thing I would encourage any creative. The learning doesn't stop. When you think you've made it, you start again, learn afresh. Yeah, so that would be the advice I'd give anyone. I'm sure before Derek joined, he thought maybe working with the tourism board was the peak. But then you reach there and you realize actually working with Visit Dubai and Visit Rwanda is these are the things that you never think that will happen. So I wish that Derek's story, as he moves into this bold narrative, that it serves as an inspiration to any creative out there that wants to realize their dream, who wants to realize their vision as far as creativity is concerned, that it's possible, it's achievable, as long as you make bold decisions, as long as you choose a bold narrative about your life, this is possible. Resilience, like we said, we lean into resilience. One of the things that I'm sure Derek gives credit for this journey is the resilience, the ability to keep learning, that doesn't end, to improve yourself, and to self-promote. We shouldn't shy away from self-promotion. I feel that it's what sets us apart in many ways than one. So I hope that Derek's story and his journey serves as an inspiration for anyone out there that's looking to make, bold decisions in their life. I'm very excited for Derek and this journey that he's taking with a bold narrative, because I do feel that it embodies exactly who he is, the ability to be able to choose something, go after it, and achieve it. It only takes a certain boldness about you to be able to do that. So I feel that what he's going to give us is something that from this new creative or bold, I feel that what he's going to give us is something new, something fresh, something that we've seen probably but haven't heard it from Ugandan voices, from our our own point of view, from the way we are raised as Ugandans, as Africans. I feel that the narrative that he's going to bring out is something that it's been a long time coming. It's something that it's about time that these conversations are being had, that these stories are being had, for us to be able to have conversations about who we are as people, beyond our upbringing, beyond what we learned in school. Who are we? What are we able to achieve? What decisions are we making? What bold decisions are we making when we are not, going by outside sources, by societal conditioning? What is it that we can achieve? I think these are stories it's time. It's time for us to hear these stories. It's time for us to step into that world. We tend to fear these things. That things, uncharted territory is something everyone fears, but I'm excited to see what the bold narrative can bring for us in as far as this is concerned.
Yeah, I really wanted to do this my entire life, to hang on cliffs, to inspire people do this, because honestly it is scaring the shit out of me. But I'm glad that I can challenge my mind. I can tell my mind, no, you do not control me. You do not tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. And I hope you too, who is watching me right now, you do that. I hope you go after that thing that you've always wanted to do. It doesn't have to be this, but everyone has something that they've always wanted to do in their entire life. I hope you get a chance to do that. I love you guys. I hope the journey that I'm going to walk with you, the journey that we are going to move together in the nearby future, because this channel is going to stay. I will use this channel to show you guys the development of my life. Some of you have been able to see me on other platforms, but I was not on YouTube. The word is YouTube because this is a space where I can control my entire production and existence, because this is like my TV station and I have control over it. So we are going to grow together. We are going to go through pain together. We are going to go through wins together. We are going to marry together. We are going to build our house together. We are going to travel together. We are going to get jobs together. We are going to lose together. I'll come here and I share those stories in the best, honest, kind way that I can. I noticed that many of you that watched that video actually did not subscribe. Actually, 90% of the people that watched that video were not subscribed. So please make sure you subscribe, because you'll be among the people that are going to watch me from the zero ground to whatever we are going to reach. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Those of you that have followed me for some time, you know, I am not going to stop. And I hope you too, you never, ever, ever stop. Because think about it in this way. If you ever wake up and die right now, God forbid, like if you ever wake up and die right now, in the next 2-3 days, there is a chance that you'll be forgotten. There's a chance that some people will not even bury you, because they'll be like, I'm far, I can't travel, I don't have a car, I don't have a taxi, oh my God, I can't go. Some will actually come to bury you, but they will not even eat food on your burial, because they'll be like, I don't eat food on burials. People will forget you in a split second. That should be a motivation that your life is so limited. Like, your life is so small, it can end in a second and it will all be gone. The memories, the friendships, whatever that you've created, it can all be gone in just a second. I hope you use that logic behind that analogy that I've just shared with you to be like, how can I use the time I have on this world to do everything I want? How can I dream and be a delusional dreamer? How can I lock in and focus on making myself better? How can I grow and do whatever I want, not mind opinions, not mind about perfection, not mind about perceptions, what people think about me, what they think about something else, what you understand? Like, use that as a driving force to be like, it can all be gone. Like this. Those of you that will choose to travel and go this journey with me, you're very much welcome. I'll be sharing more about this channel the more we go, and I'm excited to see what we can do. Jump! There's a rainbow here! Bro, I'm standing in a rainbow! There's a rainbow here! I'm standing in a rainbow, man!